Welcome back to another Chasing Giants TV. I'm Terry Peer, and a ton of questions lately on when I should spray my soybeans. And I'm actually doing it today a little bit earlier than normal. So I'm standing in one of my soybean fields, and it's always hard on camera to really see how thick or thin. All you can really see is dirt that shows up through the camera. But I'm gonna pull up a soybean plant. This is pretty much what's in the ground right now. So there's a root ball, so you guys can see how big my soybeans are, okay? So even though it doesn't look like it behind me on the camera, that's what my soybeans look like. Now, I usually like to wait until my plants are 8 to 10 inches tall. I always plant my beans thick. So these beans were planted at about 80 pounds per acre with a drill. And we'll see another spot here in just a little bit that I'll walk over to that I did no-till on. But these beans are coming up good. It does have some pressure in it, but not a lot. Here's some of the cereal grain from the winter cover crop that came up. Last year we had corn in here, so I got volunteer corn every now and then. So there is a couple weedy spots, and I'll turn the camera around in just a second and show you those. But folks, there's a couple things to remember. Number one, the plant doesn't have to be, let me start that over just to make sure we clarify something, because you guys take everything literally. On Gen 2 real world soybeans, they are glyphosate tolerant, which means Roundup ready. So it doesn't matter if your soybean is this big or this big. You can take your glyphosate chemical and literally pour it without mixing it with water, and it won't hurt the beans. So you don't have to worry about, am I going to spray it too early? Am I going to spray it too hot? I shade on the side of being hot, a hot batch, versus being too thin, because I want to kill everything here. But folks, you can take it straight out of the jug and pour it on a plant that's an inch tall, and you're not going to hurt it. There are some other herbicides that will hurt it and will burn it. But when we're talking about glyphosate, however you want to say it, it doesn't matter, folks. So I'm coming in here and going ahead and spraying this weekend. I mixed Mike's Mighty Micros in with my herbicide, and but it is a little bit early, but I have planted this thick enough and have good enough germination. I shouldn't have to spray it a second time, because the canopy will fill in because of how thick it is. Now over in another area where I planted it with a corn planter with bean meters, that will probably have to be sprayed again, because they're on 30-inch rows, and the rows will have to fill in, so weeds will probably come back in. But here's an example kind of here in this little drainage. I went ahead and planted through it, but you can see there's a lot of weeds here, a lot of grasses. So, but yeah, anytime now and on, if you wait too late and you're using a side-by-side like I am, and you're running over your plants, it's better to do it earlier. That way those plants will spring back. If you wait till you get them 15 inches tall or knee high, it does a whole lot more damage to the plant. But yeah, let's walk around, look at a couple other places. I'll show you. Hopefully you guys can get a good view of the beans coming up. These will fill in, and you won't be able to see dirt here in just a couple weeks. Got a slow start to growing season this year because of how wet and cool it was. But we got a lot of rain this last week, and we got heat this week. So hoping these things will make a big jump this week. All right, this is another small little field. It's in beans this year. I'm gonna have to have some grass here on the edge. Man, that camera does not pick up how many plants are here. But as you can see right there, I'm gonna have to be really careful when I spray. Those are sunflowers, so along the edge of this, these little plants right there with the big leaves. All of those are sunflowers, so I will have some grass because I won't spray right on top. There's soybeans and sunflowers there, but if you walk up through here, all kinds of beans coming up, very early stages. Soybeans coming up. So normally, yes, this is too early to spray, but I went ahead and sprayed it. I got volunteer corn coming in, but yeah, I know it's hard to see. It looks like it's just bare dirt, but there actually is a green canopy here. But what I wanted to show you right here is this right here is Real World's hidden access. So second year Miscanthus up to the 360 blind, and I know that I have some gaps that need to be taken care of with my Miscanthus. So when this field was in corn last year, corn was planted right up to the Miscanthus, and I still had easy access into my blind. But this is 2 passes with the drill right up beside the Miscanthus to the soybeans, so I will be able to walk right in this area that I'm walking right now to get in. So the hidden access annual screen, it looks really, really good. Hopefully I can get the Miscanthus filled in. There's a big gap right there where I lost like probably 5-6 rhizomes. I need to get those filled in and patched in. So corn ears, it's not a big deal because we can walk right along the corn in the Miscanthus, but soybeans to bedding area, straight up in. I will probably bring a weed whacker in later this year and widen out this path a little bit, but it was just 2 passes in the drill up to Miscanthus. So you can see some volunteer corn coming up. That'll get taken care of by the Roundup. But yep. Now I'm in another area that was a grass hay with a little bit of alfalfa in it last year, and I killed it off with a herbicide, and you can see the rows of soybeans coming up, all those green stripes. Hopefully you can see it on camera, but this was all completely no-till. You can see it maybe a little bit better here. Coming right up through the dead grass, protected it really nice. So, but yeah, a lot of weeds coming right back in. There's some broadleafs coming up. Not too many grasses, but quite a bit of broadleaf. So we'll spray this again. But see how wide the rows are here? It'll take a longer to fill those in. So it would not surprise me if I have to spray all of this twice. But that's not that big of a deal. We'll walk right up here. This was a little bit of a test. I was using my new corn planter with bean meters versus drill in other areas. And then this was no-till and till. For clarification there, I didn't say until. No-till and tillage. So, same population, same day, but this ground was worked as a test, just to see what if it does any different. No-till, till. So a lot of weeds coming up in between the soybean rows. Again, these are 30-inch rows. So we'll go ahead and spray this today. Grass is there. All right, before we go, I'll show you one more spot. Check out this Miscanthus, but I had some rhizomes not make it right here. So still got some, like I said before in that other area, we got a little bit, some holes to fill in. Then we got Real World's hidden access. You can see I can walk right between the soybeans and the Miscanthus on a bean year to wherever I need to get on the farm. And then look out across those beans. We got some volunteer corn. Now this corn last year was Roundup Ready corn in this patch. So spraying Roundup on volunteer Roundup Ready corn won't kill it. So have to mix a little clethodim in there to kill that corn. There's enough of it there. I don't want it shading out the beans. Okay, one last stop on the walk around today. This was the clover field that I had taken over with so much grass. And remember, we did a video on this about maintaining your clover by mowing it versus throwing herbicide to it so much. And folks, look out across this thing. Clover has choked out all the grasses. It is about almost up to my knees in some areas. My fruit trees are doing good. I lost one pear to fire blight, but you can see there up over the hubs of my side-by-side. I did come in with a herbicide today with a residual and spray inside of my cages where they're growing up. But look at this clover. I'm telling you folks, mowing it is the trick. Get it before those seed heads. It's almost up to the floor pan, and that side-by-side has a 2-inch lift kit. So really happy with this clover plot. Little wall of Giant Miscanthus to box it in a little bit. Fantastic. Don't be so quick to throw clethodim or 2,4-DB. Mow your clover. Okay, this is a spot that I've documented quite a bit this year. All brand new, getting ready for my Chasing Giants 360 blind. So you'll have to bear with me. Hopefully the wind is not too bad. I'm up on top of the hill right now, so it's a little windy. But check out this clover. I got some weeds and there's a couple patches, but it is up mid shin level. You guys were with me when we planted this, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I'll come back in here when we got rain in the forecast and just sprinkle some top seed right over these little bare spots. My trees from Gingrich Tree Farms. These are pears, and those are apples. I'm glad there was quite a few people that said I planted them wrong and they're dying. And I'm glad that there was so many people that said I was planting them wrong and they were gonna die. They've only grown about 6 inches since I put them in. That's sarcasm, folks. Yeah, corn looks good. It is about knee high. So this is a test variety of corn. Let's walk over and look at the soil charge. Okay, that was a short walk over here to the soil charge. This little 2/10 of an acre kind of necks back down on this finger before it comes up into the food plot. It was old pasture, then it was mowed for hay, and then for the last 3 years, it was just let grow up. So we put a soil charge in here, and one of the varieties in the soil charge is ginormous. It's up over my knees. The deer have been absolutely hammering this. And I asked Dwayne Hopkins if I should mow it, and he said that if it's already to the reproductive state, to let it go, because it'll basically just die off as an annual if you nip it now. If you catch it before the reproductive state, before it blooms and goes to seed, it's just like getting browsed by animals. So food for thought. I'm not gonna mow it because I literally found 3 fawns in this area behind me. So I'm not taking a risk of mowing it because it is thick. And yeah, I'll show you a lot of collards, all of the different varieties. So I'm just gonna let this go for another 2 months, kill it off with a herbicide. Hopefully it'll be up about my waist, kill it, and then no-till in a fall annual blend back into it. So everything is going absolutely fantastic, except for I got about maybe a 1/4 acre of alfalfa that didn't come up, and I'm not sure why. I thought I had enough seed in the drill. It wasn't that, but I'm gonna have to reseed a little bit of alfalfa up on the front hayfield. But other than that, it's been quite a blessing to have such a good moisture this year. A little cool, but now that we got the heat and the moisture, the best of both worlds. So all right, but yeah, make sure you don't freak out too much about when to spray your soybeans. The later you wait and the thinner it is, the more likely you are to only have to spray once. But you want to catch those weeds before they get mature and not be able to kill them. And I'm sitting here. This is second year Giant Miscanthus. No, excuse me. This patch right here is third year. This is 3 years old, and I'm 6'1", so this is well at 8 foot tall. Fantastic. But just let me tell you, you guys know how much we're relying on Mike's Mighty Micros this year to help with our Farming for Nutrients initiative. Word of caution, people, do not spray Mike's Mighty Micros on your Miscanthus. It is so good of a product, it will actually make it an invasive. It'll take over your whole farm. I'm being sarcastic again. You guys know that I'm poking fun at some of the people out there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you want other things answered or shown, I don't mind doing it. I just kind of did a walk around of my plots here today. So we're gonna put this blind in here hopefully in the next week or so. But stay tuned. Yeah, leave a comment down below, anything else you wanna see or us talk about or answer questions. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys.